Put a full screen on this. I'm ready.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the meeting. Both councillors present here in the big offices at Bickerstaff, and those still joining us remotely in the virtual world, and also officers and press and anybody else who's joining us online. Could I ask the members of the executive to introduce themselves firstly? Councillor Brooks.
Yeah, Councillor Neil Brooks, Cabinet Member for Housing and Welfare Reform.
Thank you. Councillor Hobson.
Councillor Jim Hobson, Cabinet Member for Environment and Climate Change.
Councillor Campbell.
Councillor Gillian Campbell, Cabinet Member for Tourism and Culture.
Thank you. Councillor Farrell.
Councillor Jo Farrell, Cabinet Member for Adult Social Care and Health.
Councillor Taylor.
Ivan Taylor, Cabinet Member for Project and Park.
Could you hear that in the Councillor Taylor then? You're all muted.
It is a little muffled.
Chair, Councillor Taylor should have needed to unmute himself.
Mm-hmm.
I am Ivan Taylor, Cabinet Member for Projects and Partnership with Blackpool Borough Council.
Thank you. Councillor Kirkland.
Councillor Maria Kirkland, Cabinet Member for Community Cohesion and Leisure.
Councillor Smith.
Councillor Mark Smith, Cabinet Member for Business, Enterprise and Job Creation.
And Councillor Benson.
Good evening, Councillor Benson, Cabinet Member Schools, Education and Aspiration.
Thank you, everybody. I'd be grateful if we could just join in a minute's silence to remember Jordan Banks. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family, friends, school and community. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, everybody. So, as is usual, obviously keep muted unless you need to speak, as I did then, and keep your videos on. And I apologise that I am, as I've said, look like I'm auditioning for Men in Black film, but I've managed to leave my normal prescription glasses elsewhere. So, if we could move on to agenda item 1, declarations of interest. Does anybody have any interest to declare? Nope. Thank you. So agenda item 2, Alan, did you want to say a short intro? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Just reminding the exec members that this is a project we've been working on for some time, Talbot Gateway. Phase 1 was, of course, Sainsbury's and our building. And part of the ambition of this project was to bring more office workers into the town centre to both stimulate and facilitate the work in the town centre and stimulate the economy in the town centre. And we have been for some time talking to people about the potential for a what would be phase 3, an office development on the site, which people will know as the former St John's Market or East Hopping Street car park. And those talks have reached a stage now where we feel we need to be getting ready and preparing to actually build something. Just to be very clear, this is not a speculative development, so we would not complete the building unless we knew there was somebody going to come into it. I'm afraid to say that we can't talk about who it is because we have signed a non-disclosure agreement with the organisation concerned. But safe to say, we're getting very close to an agreement for lease. And once that agreement for lease was agreed, then we would be able to reveal who was going to be moving into those offices. So there is a series of recommendations relating to moving to the next stage of this piece of work, which are outlined in the paper and under section 2.1 and 2.2. And I'm happy to answer any questions that members may have.
So, thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Councillor Hobson?
Yeah, thank you. I'm not sure if this is quite the right time to ask this question, but obviously we declared the climate emergency as a council nearly 2 years ago now, so I would expect any kind of council-built building to be boasting the newest and best technology with regards to keeping the building's carbon footprint as low as possible. Are we going to ensure that those technologies are looked at? I mean, I'm thinking like solar panels, heat pumps, that sort of thing.
Back up through you, Chair. The answer to the question is the tenant would also want us to be as green a building as possible, and would be aiming for BREEAM Excellent, which is the very latest standard for sort of environmental building. Yes, all of those measures would be considered. It's you have to consider those measures against what's most appropriate for that building, but all of those things would be considered as part of the design and construction of a new office building.
Okay, thanks, Alan.
Councillor Brooks.
Yeah, just a quick one. I recognise that the work's been going on for many months on this. What sort of timescale are we looking at? Because I understand that today's just seeking authority to go and press the button. Once the agreement's signed, there'll be expenditure to be incurred up to that point, and I just wanted an idea of the timescale.
Okay, we anticipate that there would be a more formal position with the party concerned probably in the next 6 or 8 weeks, so it's fairly close in that respect. Obviously we need to start to incur costs, but we will keep those to a minimum until we've actually got something signed up. And the position is that we want to get to a position where we can actually start works on this building towards the end of this year, early next year, with about a 20-month build period. So that will take us through to the end of 2023. Something like that.
Thanks for that.
Thank you. Councillor Campbell.
Thanks, Chair. Just a quick question from me, Alan. I see that the dentist is moving into the Hop Inn, which I think is great because it's a locally listed building. Just wondering, will it stay the same on the outside and all the work will be internal? Thank you.
Again, through you, Chair. Yes, that would be the case. There is a lower story extension to the back of the Hop Inn, which was actually an addition, which it may well not be kept. But the bit that you think of as the Hop Inn would be retain its character on the outside, and all the amendments were made to the inside of the building. Obviously, some of the windows would change, not in their external appearance, but in their transparency. As many patients and dentists don't want to be watched whilst they're having their teeth drilled or whatever it is that they do in there. So it's very much retaining the look and feel of the building, but changing the internal layout to reflect its new use.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Smith?
So, thank you, Chair. So I want to recommend the proposal forward here today. I've got a few words I've got to read out because they're supplementary to the document. One is to agree that Appendix 2D to the Executive Report schedule of risk and opportunities is not public or publication by virtue of paragraph 3 of Part 1 of the Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972, as to the costings would undermine the Council's position in continuing and future negotiations. Recommendations to the rest of the in the report of items to delegate authority to Chief Executive after consultation with the leader and the Council of relevant Cabinet Member 2, as in the Executive Report, items A, B, C, and D. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, and the third recommendation as per the agenda, Councillor Smith.
All right, to approve the overall schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to second. So if we could have a show of hands.
Chair, just to clarify that actually those entitled to vote are only those that are in Bickerstaff, which is yourself, Councillor Smith and Councillor Taylor. So those will be the only votes that would be recorded.
Yeah, but just to confirm, that's unanimous for those present and voting. Okay, you can finish the meeting, Chairman.
Thank you. Thanks, Ed. Thank you. Good evening. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.